Juve back in the news. It's been a while since they had a good old scandal, isn't it? Or is it? I don't know.
A major one, anyway.
I've never seen an entire board resign.
Yeah.
Was it in protestation, or is it a disgrace?
I think it was to get in before the disgrace. I think if they were still in charge in like a few weeks, there was going to be like they were getting arrested.
Really?
I think so. I think that's what they were saying.
Yeah, I saw Nedved a couple of times. He's on the board, I presume.
He is, yeah.
For what? For fraud, tax fraud?
Something like that, yeah. It's something to do that they were saying they weren't paying wages due to COVID.
Yeah.
But they actually were paying the players' wages secretly.
Oh, so they're getting hands from the government, probably.
I think so, yeah.
Classic move.
Apparently there's like a group chat leaked of Chiellini explaining it.
God.
I know, of Chiellini explaining it to the players. Like, no, don't worry, we're getting paid. This is exactly what's happening.
Oh, wow. A fucking paper trail.
Someone took them down for an inside job.
Did you like the fucking the Ballyragged thing a few years ago? It's like, right, lads, no one say anything to the papers, and someone just screenshot every single thing. There's always one, isn't there?
And speaking of there's always one, I don't know if you saw about Courtois talking about the Belgium team.
No.
Apparently someone's been leaking stories about
Yes, what was that about?
So someone's been leaking stories to the press about the Belgium team, not being happy with each other. I
Yeah.
assume about Courtois and De Bruyne.
I assume about just everything that's going on.
And I get the quote, but Courtois said something crazy about it. He said we're like going to find the leak.
I'm going to find the rat.
Thibaut Courtois warns teammates after leaks emerge, which is exactly what you need. If we find out whoever leaked this, it'll be his last day in the national team. Sounds like a threat.
It sounds
It doesn't sound like we're going to kick you out. It sounds like you're not going to be able to play.
Your last day in the national team and Earth.
Kevin. I do like that he's like, who's secretly leaking these messages? Meanwhile, De Bruyne is literally doing interviews like, God, we're so old. Not a chance for winning anything.
Well, yeah, what are the leaks? Are the leaks just like what Kevin De Bruyne saying, or is it something more than that?
I assume it was like more of the inside scoop of like, this is why these people are having these falling outs that you're seeing in the media, do you know?
Yeah.
I don't know, I assume it was the Belgian papers more so than the English press.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you who should be fucking last day on any kind of setup is the guy who put those fucking flames on the jerseys. Oh. What is that?
No, when I saw that, I thought out in the group stage.
That was the beginning and the end for them.
You're not having flames on your jersey.
Forget about Hazard. Forget about fucking Lukaku going out and look like 12-year-olds who pick their own clothes. Get out of here.
No, honestly, that is nonsense. Nonsense. All nonsense. But listen, I've been on that road before. They're imposters.
Nothing to ask me, for my opinion, a little bit unfair.
But in between that, there was drinks.
Why are you talking rubbish?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a No Nonsense podcast with Carl and Will. We're back again.
Yes, sir.
Another late night after dark. After the last game. The last games of the group stages have just wrapped up.
We've somehow managed to time these episodes perfectly so far. It was like right at the start in the hullabaloo, end of the first round, end of the second round, and now end of the third round.
Yeah.
Totally by accident.
Yeah, it's like we say, it's two ways to do it. Every day or
some days.
Just try and get the best days.
Yeah, hope for the best.
We have been looking at there has been a lot of bad games, and then just the last couple of days have been proper sports washing stuff.
Yeah.
Make you forget about all your problems.
I mentioned it off the mic, but this is the first time where I understand sports washing, because I have in a few years when I hear the word Qatar, I'm going to think, oh, the World Cup, that was amazing.
Yeah, although honestly, I don't remember any World Cup. There's problems in loads of places that hold it. I mean, the one that might spring to mind is Russia. Is that was an okay World Cup. Actually, it was a great World Cup, to be honest. That summer was great.
Yeah, exactly.
Really good season of Love Island too, if I remember correctly.
That was the best season. That was the Childish, Greg O'Shea, all the hits.
Yeah, I think so. Really sunny summer as well. Great summer. And then England getting knocked out. I mean, it was all good. But now, you see them kind of ruining all their hard work by raping their way across Ukraine. Apparently,
Oh,
there's some
I've heard that.
some shocking stories coming out. So I mean, I would say hold your horse like a guitar, Will. You know, let's see how this all plays out, because it has a habit of playing out.
Yeah, that's true.
But the football itself has been pretty good.
Really good. Yeah.
When we last spoke in our last session, Will, we left you at the second round, like I said. Mm-hmm. So this was like the first round. They did it a weird way. They went Group A, Group B, Group D, back to Group C, Group F.
Yeah.
Like a teacher who's getting bored and he starts messing. Like
They did it like we do the preview episodes. Like you do A, I'll do.
Yeah.
So while I'm speaking, you work out what you're going to say.
Yeah, it was weird that they did that way. I'm not sure why. But yeah, we had Group B. No, sorry. I think it was Group D had the first upset of the round. That was Tunisia beat France 1-0. Yes. A classic situation where one team is through and they went, let's just play all our other players.
Yeah, who cares? Who gives a shit? Well, who could this possibly affect except for the other team?
Yeah. In the end, Tunisia did not get through, and Denmark lost to Australia.
Terrible tournament for them.
I said they go to semi-finals.
Yeah, I said Serbia would go semi-finals.
Yeah, look, dark horses, that's why they're dark horses.
Yeah, they're usually bad.
If they're outright favourites, then anybody could call them.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, Denmark, hey, I'm putting it out there. Maybe Christian Eriksen's a problem. Pretty well out of him. I'm just saying. All right? I don't know if anyone else is saying that.
Yeah, definitely not.
We're starting off
the other podcasts are afraid to say it.
We're starting off this one strong. They lost Australia. They looked like they didn't want to fucking be there, to be honest, Denmark.
Yes.
They just looked listless the entire fucking tournament.
This is the thing. Germany were similar, and I would say they were the two teams who were most heavily protesting coming up to it and during it.
The one loved, the 6-1 love teams.
Banners, yeah, the banners.
It was Germany, Denmark, England, Netherlands, Switzerland, and Belgium.
Yeah, I think so.
They're and three of them are gone.
Yeah, but Germany and Denmark were the only teams doing more. Like Denmark were protesting a lot coming up to the World Cup. They had the all black sponsor or the all black kit with like no sponsors and stuff on it.
Yeah, the protest
and then Germany did the mouth protest thing.
Yeah, so they were. I don't think they were super stoked for it. Usually by the national team. So if you can, I don't know if that's always a good judge, but I couldn't imagine that at home in Denmark and Germany. They're like, oh yeah, this is great. Let's get involved in this. Yeah. I mean, maybe they were like, we don't really care what you do. This is not really our kind of thing. Like, I mean, it is a thing that other countries do. They have very strong feelings about certain. We are much more of a bandwagon kind of a country.
Yes.
Even when we're not in it, we're all watching. Like, hey, this
is unbelievable.
It's pretty dark outside. It's dark at 4. What else you want me to do? You know,
when I was on the train coming home today, there was 4 different people watching the games on their phones. I didn't even have to watch the game because the internet wasn't working for me because so many people were on it. But I was able to tell the score in the game from the people's various sighs and hums.
Someone with the biggest smartphone, go to the top of the train. Yeah. Let's be smart about this, folks. Yeah, no, I don't know. That's total guesswork. I don't know what the mood is like in Germany and Denmark. Maybe like, hey, you know what? We have fucking savage Christmas markets over here. We don't need your World Cup. None of our ice skating rinks have been closed. We're open for business. I don't know, but yeah, Denmark out bottom of the group. I thought maybe second, possibly first. I'm not even sure exactly what I said in the preview.
Yeah,
I was thinking about that actually today. We've got a lot of them wrong.
We did well in the Euros preview. We did shocking in this one.
For the final, I would say we should go back. We should just go back over the
the predictions through the ashes.
Yeah, I'm thinking something like prediction reckoning. Or something. I'll work on the theme music. But yeah, we've gotten a lot of them wrong. But it's been a mad World Cup in that way.
Yeah.
Australia beat Denmark to go second, and Tunisia beating France was then in vain because Australia obviously beaten Tunisia as well, so that put them on 6 points. Same points as France.
Yeah.
Now look, you might say that French are through. They're thinking of the final, but it's never good to lose.
Yeah.
And have you heard of their latest attempt to disrupt their own squad?
No, what's this one?
Benjamin Pavard will.
Oh, what's he up to?
Well, according to Didier Deschamps,
here we go.
He's out of his goddamn mind. He started the first game and he's at fault for that first goal against Australia.
Yes, I remember
and I don't know, maybe he didn't claim responsibility for it or something, but Didier Deschamps obviously is a big admirer of Steven Gerrard's
style,
management style, because this is what he had to say about Benjamin Pavard. He was dropped for the second game, and then for his third game, they rung all the changes, but he wasn't brought in. It was the third choice right back, so he's not even in like contention to play your way back in. Your third choice, you're out of the team, And he was asked about this, and this is what he said. This is what Deschamps said about Pavard. I took the decision not to play him. I won't go into details, Deschamps said. He then went into the details and he said, I've had several conversations with him. I don't consider him to be in the right disposition. So he'll ask me, is it physical? Is it in his head? The first match didn't help, of course. That's why I made a different choice. Oof. So I'd say he probably said he's not ready to play it. He looks in the eye and say, you're ready to play right back in the World Cup for France. He's out. Now, look, we've seen it, like, say, Steven Gerrard, where it's like, all good and well until you need to get him in.
Yeah, until your injuries pile up.
Benji, hey, old fucking Big Ben, I need you, bud.
Yeah,
you
should do me a solid.
But of course, it's the French national team, so it has to be sides.
Yes.
So Giroud and Lloris are on Pavard's side. Now that is your captain in goal, I'm pretty sure, and your record goal scorer.
Yeah. They're amazing.
And apparently the other French players were giving him a hard time for his mistakes. So they were actually turning on him, and they're like, oh, lads, come on, relax. It's one mistake. It's Australia.
We're literally a team.
Doing their best to not be one, by the looks of it. So that's the only thing you'd say for France. They're through after a loss, and they're trying to find anything to...
I mean, in the Euros, they were looking good as well. But
Yeah.
then in that Switzerland game, when it came to penalties, you could see it was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Things are cracking. There's a lot of fingers being pointed already.
Yeah, it's a decent. That was a decent Swiss team. We got them a bit later, I suppose. But I think this French team, I don't know. I'm not convinced yet.
They're very good. Mbappe is amazing. But yeah, there's always trouble brewing.
I think when the second best team ranked was Denmark, and then they didn't do too well. And then, okay, they beat Australia in the end, but they concede to them. I just think, like, there isn't a standout in the tournament so far, but so maybe that's what I'm judging on, like, other World Cups, which is dumb to do. But I don't know, we'll see with the French team. You can't trust them, Will. You just can't trust them.
Wait till Benzema shows up.
I'm back.
It's going to be chaos.
Where's that fucking physio?
Oh, now that Pavard's gone, we have a hole in the squad.
Oh, an extra member, huh? But yeah, one shout out to the first team since Brazil 2002 to return as champions and get out of the group.
That's insane.
Italy 2006, 2010, Spain 2010, 2014, and then Germany 2014, 2018.
Wow.
All went on the group.
What do you think that is? Is it just pressure or is that just age? 'Cause obviously it's a World Cup cycle is a long time.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you're winning, you're going hard. You're going far in the Euros as well.
I haven't looked into the exact stats of it, but I'd imagine to win World Cup, there's probably an age profile you want to be in between, like, say, 26 to 30. 4 years' time, lads are 30, 34. Lads are 26 are 30, and they're playing at like Bayern Munich or wherever best teams in the world to go far in Champions League. A lot of miles on the clock, is what I'm trying to say. So then by the time next one comes around, you've already won it also.
That's
where's the motivation?
Yeah, like the pinnacle of football is winning the World Cup.
Yeah.
So doing it, and then 4 years later, you're like, all right, here we go again. It's like,
yeah,
it's not gonna be as good as the first one, though, is it?
The hunger isn't there, you know.
Yeah.
It's becomes more professional exercise.
Yeah.
Like your whole fucking life. Poland will one of my teams from the prediction episode. Like it wasn't really the preview episode, I suppose. Yeah. Deeds, not words.
Yeah.
They did it.
They fucking came through.
2002, 2006, 2014, 2018. Group stage exit.
Yeah.
They did it.
They fucking pulled it out of the bag.
By playing some of the worst football of the tournament. Up there with...
they're not going any further than this.
Up there with Qatar and fucking Iran the first day and Costa Rica the first day, honestly. It was like... I think they knew that they were solid and they didn't want to lose by any more goals just in case any more permutations reared their head.
You don't know who Saudi Arabia is going to beat.
Yeah. They got to go back in the end. Yeah. You know, you just want to hold what you have. I think they probably knew they were going through and like, let's not fucking try and see if we can anger Messi here. Argentina looked the best they ever had as well, which maybe kind of half that they're growing at the tournament, but then also
It's on the line.
It's like Poland weren't really trying.
Yeah.
So it's like hard to know. If Poland were really going at them, I don't know how good they'd be. But Alvarez looks a player, Will.
Yes. He looks very good.
Where's he at? Oh, yeah. Oh, I just remembered. Seen 5 years at Arsenal, pal. To replace Jesus.
Who, by the way, very quiet World Cup for Jesus.
He's not getting ahead of Richarlison, man.
Which is like, we'll get to the Brazil team, but it's just insane that the team seems to be built around Richarlison. It's so odd, like. But it works.
And even the transfer in the summer to Spurs was like, I wouldn't have paid that much for him. And now look at him.
Star of the World Cup.
He's on course to be Golden Boot. He's right up there with all the rest of them. You know, like 50 million seems a bit steep. I don't know if he's worth that.
I would still say that now.
Based on club performance, absolutely it is. But look, it's Poland, it's Argentina. It was 2-0 to Argentina.
Yeah.
Poland, they're in the last 16. Who do they play?
I'll tell you now who they play. They play, according to this very crude graphic, France.
So France play Poland.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah.
Not sure that one will. I think
That could also be the biannual World Cup collapse for France against a team they should be beating.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think Poland are even good enough for that.
No, I don't think so.
I really don't think so. They just really didn't seem to offer anything over the 3 games. I mean, they beat Saudi Arabia. And look, my boys.
You know what that's all about.
My boys, you know, Saudi Arabia. I'm not trying to shit in Saudi Arabia here. But I don't know. I don't think Poland will go much further. Argentina, I don't know. There was the big one, the penalty shout. I saw the headline that BBC pundit calls Ronaldo and Messi cheats. Did you see who that was? No. Yeah, Chris Sutton called them both cheats after penalty winning awards. I mean, Messi was grazed and then he went down holding his face.
Yes.
I was like, I mean, he's going for the ball. It was like he wasn't even looking at it. I don't know what the exact rule is today.
Yeah.
We looked at this up before, but I think it changes a lot.
Did you hear Chesney's quote about it?
What did he say?
He said he, in a pretty risky quote, after the game, he said, I said to Messi on the pitch, I bet €100 that's not that they'd say it's a penalty. And then he said, in the quote, he said, I probably shouldn't be saying that. Because he's saying, like, on the pitch, I was gambling about the referee's decisions.
Oh, yeah. Well,
you know what I mean? It's in jest, but still.
Unless Messi gave him some competitive odds, I don't think it really counts. Yeah. If you said, well, I'll give you 6-1.
If Messi was really vindictive, he'd pay him out.
Yeah. Get him banned.
Yeah.
Can you be banned for being a gambler? What's the gambler?
A bookie.
Bookie. Gambler, bookie. But, you know, if you cut hair once, just make you barber. That's what he says in his defense. Anyways, again, justice in this World Cup. A lot of justice, it seems. Yeah. I don't know if it's justice or just what I want to happen happening, but
yes,
that's a joke penalty. It seems to be saved.
Chelsea's having, I would say, he's probably their best player this tournament so far. Because remember, was it the first game we pulled off the crazy double save as well?
Yeah, he's been playing well,
really well. Yeah.
The goalies do tend to get better at age. You seem to calm down. Yeah. You know, you think you don't need to be much faster.
Yeah,
you still to a certain age, you still have athleticism. You know, I think he's really come to his own. But yeah, we'll say again. I don't think I've not been convinced by Argentina either.
No, me neither. It's it really feels like they're like struggling through every game. They're like, they barely got there.
They're fine. They're still finding their feet.
Yes,
you know?
It's knockout stages.
I tell you what, though, I had a theory about this that it's very competitive. A lot of upsets so far.
Yeah.
And I think I mentioned it with the England game when they first were playing Iran, and they were just like knocking the ball around like it was still training. I think because it's been such a short time in between, there isn't even the 2 or 3 weeks to like, okay, right, this is the general plan. I know we don't play together often, but this is what we're trying to do. Because like 1 weekend straight into it. I wouldn't say it's like the great leveler, but like it's definitely leveled it up a little bit.
100%, yeah.
Because every team, like say Richarlison, right, we were talking about, he strikes me as someone who has loads of ability, obviously, but thinks like systems are for nerds who can't play.
I feel that way.
You know, that's why it's like, why isn't he fucking, playing well in the Premier League? Because it's very stringent system. Like everyone has done their homework on you. They know what you like to do.
Conte has a big sticker on the wall that says "No bicycle kicks."
Yeah, but he's the same player who did that flick and got kicked straight away for it.
Yes, he did the keepy ups. And
that wasn't the game plan anymore.
No, I'd say Conte hated that.
But this World Cup, where it's like, okay, we haven't played to get a loss. It does kind of come down to who the best players are. Yeah. It comes down to raw ability. Like the old World Cup, it wasn't as like tactically heavy. And the best player, this is why the World Cup was so important for who was the best player, because like we're all fit. We all barely drink. Who's the best players out here? Who's going to be the difference? Whereas now it's like, you do nullify players like Messi and Ronaldo and maybe not Mbappe. But we'll see how that goes as well. It can be done if you have committed enough players who have a good game plan. So I don't know. I think that's why there's been so many upsets, because there isn't that time to like, okay, right, we know what we want to do. We know what runs you want to make. So yeah, I don't know. I think maybe that's why Argentina, after their 36-game winning streak, who they, I don't know, but maybe as the tournament goes on, they'll find that form again. But right now, I'm just like, I don't see it.
No, I can't see this being the dream World Cup where Messi finally does it. It doesn't feel like that's happening.
No.
He can only do so much.
And again, this is the best game I've seen him play.
Yes.
He was making all those little runs he was making.
He's amazing.
He was so dancing on his Polish players.
I was seeing a lot of talk though about from people being like, well, this World Cup is just, now I know for sure Messi is better than Ronaldo. 100%, it's confirmed. He's like 4 years younger now.
And as well, these are not the prime years, for either of them.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can't be saying, oh, well, this is like,
I think it's just a bit weird to be like comparing them now, whereas like one of them is done. You know what I mean? Like one of them is wrapped up. He can't do it anymore. The other lad has another 4 years still to go.
I think Ronaldo scored in this World Cup, though.
I don't know if he has.
He definitely has.
He scored a penalty, did he?
Oh, no, sorry, he didn't.
It brushed off his hair.
We did score the penalty and
scored
the
penalty
hair.
And it brushed off his hair.
Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Pessi.
Yes. Pessi's a weird one because he's not great at penalties. Learned.
He has a better international record than Ronaldo, but I think everything else is worse than Ronaldo.
Yes.
So I was looking up the same thing because I knew they both. And again, the pressure they operate under every day.
Yes.
And they're brushing their teeth in the morning, they're under pressure.
If we mention them, the comments get filled.
Oh, we'll get that later on too.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. It's not surprising they miss so many penalties because they know that.
Yeah, it's not like other players missing the penalty.
There could be someone right now making the way across the stadium to get my jersey or to get a picture of me as I take this penalty.
Yes.
At all times, every time I'm on the pitch, that's if someone's come on the pitch, it's not coming for fucking Julian Alvarez.
Yeah.
He's good, it's for me. So I guess why they miss penalties a lot, but Pessi and Ronaldo, weird because they do miss a lot of penalties.
They miss a lot of penalties, yeah.
In comparison with someone like Frank Lampard or something who like famously scored a lot of penalties.
Never heard him called Pink Lampard.
And that's good.
Yeah.
Prank Lampard.
That's good. That's the thing. That sounds like he loves jokes.
Yeah, he's the jokester of Chelsea, and also the top goal scorer ever.
We're off track.
So this is like an episode where there's nothing happening. We're just doing these bits.
This episode's gonna be 4 hours long.
No nonsense after dark, lads. This is the kind of stuff you get. The other team in that group, Saudi Arabia. Honestly, I would say they'll be happy enough.
Yeah, you had I would say your all-time great sporting moment.
I mean, beating Argentina in the first game. Like I was saying, I think they caught them at the right time, the best time to play the top team in the group because they weren't really sure, whatever. After that, though, they didn't get hammered by either team. Yeah. They lost 2-1 to Mexico yesterday. It was kind of Mexico were pushing hard for the goal. But at the same stage, in years gone by, World Cups gone by, you push hard against Saudi Arabia, you'll get it.
You'll score 7 goals. Yeah.
They got 2, and then they got caught in the hop.
Yeah.
That is progress for Saudi Arabia. They did the game. They lost to Poland, obviously. Again, it was a tight game. They defended well. And they played some decent stuff.
Yeah.
From 7-0, from losing to us. And obviously that was 2002, but I'm pretty sure they didn't do well in the other World Cups either.
No, yeah. They're hammered by Russia in the first game.
Yes, that was the last 2018.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and when they look across at Qatar, they're like, we're better than them.
We won this one.
We take us over them every other week.
Yeah.
So, look, fair play to the Saudis. I mean, like the players aren't the guys involved in sport washing.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
actual Saudi Arabian guys.
Yeah.
I mean, if they were like 6'8" guys with like Chicago accents, you're like, wait a minute, wait a minute, where did they get that guy from? But they're all Saudi Arabian guys. They played really well, and yeah, you know, that's not getting out of the group. So I guess I was wrong about that. But at the end of the day, you know,
Best of luck getting back to your league. You've got a lot of games to catch up on.
I'd say their league is going to be fierce. They're going to another World Cup now, except they play all the games. And of course, Mexico, first one haven't got out of the group for a while, but they knew that coming over.
That's one thing we got right.
That's all been covered.
Yeah.
They're all going because they said, this is the end, boys. This is the end
this
of
is
Mexico
it.
football.
Wrap it up.
Let's all go for the fucking burning of the coffin.
Well, they are hosting the next one.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
but that means they don't have to qualify for the next one. Brilliant.
Well, then they might be the Saudi Arabia of yesteryear. You have to go in and you have to get beaten.
But as I only learned the other day, there is 16 more teams in the next World Cup, so they could be anybody.
Yeah, that's good too, actually, yeah.
Surely we're going to get in then.
Let's not count chickens for the hatch, Will.
16 teams.
They expanded the Euros. We didn't get that either.
That's true.
So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. All right.
God, if we're still doing this pod, covering that World Cup's going to be tough. It's like 7 games on every day.
We really don't have time for this. We can't get in that rabbit hole. Right. Thankfully, the next group, Croatia, Belgium.
Yes.
That was a stinker.
Yes.
2 more teams that maybe a World Cup too far for them.
Officially, I would say the end of the golden generation.
Yeah.
They fucking blew it.
They had the very much like the English gold generation, which is where you first kind of come to terms with that phrase, where like infighting, good players who are maybe overhyped,
Shite managers,
past their best, players who are still good playing in the team. Why aren't you winning it for all of us? In the case of Kevin De Bruyne, you know, then he gets asked these questions, he makes a silly comment. All the hallmarks of a rusting generation that used to be gold.
Yeah.
In my research for this, Will, 'cause remember I was saying, like, I'm trying, like, was this more like the, you know, like there was the golden generation that kind of ended in 2010 for England, and then, you know, back to 2018 we got the same final.
Yeah.
So what year was this kind of close to it? And they really weren't. They weren't really the same at all. Maybe 2014 because they didn't get out of the group, England, and still had a few players there. But in my research, I looked at the 2016 Euros. You know, they lost to Iceland. They were ahead and they could see it twice. How many players do you think played in 2016 that were playing? They're on the squad for this World Cup.
I would say, in my brain, I think not many. I think they did a total overhaul.
Well, it's a very different team.
Yeah.
How many do you think?
Still on it, I would say like 4.
6. Can you name them? Think back to 2016.
2016.
Who had a good year then?
2016. Harry Kane.
Yes.
Pickford. Was he in goal?
Yes.
Kyle Walker.
Yes.
3 more.
Can't believe we're getting this guy. Cannot believe you're leaving this guy out.
2016. It feels like, in my brain, it feels like everyone is like only 18 years old in the England squad.
Well, that's it. Like the likes of, say, Phil Foden was like 14 at the
Yeah,
time. So,
yeah.
I mean, he wasn't obviously there.
Who were the other 3? I'm actually drawing a blank.
Rashford.
Fucking hell.
That was
Is
his-
he going that long?
That was his breakout year. Remember, he scored in like his
Yes.
Champions League debut, his England debut.
Fuck, I thought that was 2018. Or no. Yeah, I thought that was 2018. Fuck, he's going ages.
He was the Michael Owen that year. 2016 when he burst on the scene. Had to go on the plane. Had to be there.
Yeah.
Sterling, of course, as well. Will.
Sterling.
He was on for like 3 years previous to that.
Yeah.
And John Stones was also on the panel.
Really? I didn't.
Yeah, he wasn't playing at the time. He wasn't starting for them. But neither was. I think Rashford started the second game or something like that.
Right.
Clamor. He was like one of the clamor guys. Like, get him on. I don't care what age he is. He was 18 at the time. Get him on the fucking field. So yeah, I was thinking, Jesus. I was thinking the same thing. Like, oh yeah, those awful years there in the middle. You know,
Half the team.
half the team, half the starting team. Well, I guess Walker started as well. So yeah, there was I just thought that was interesting. So like, I think the Belgium thing is a little bit different in that, like, England, they tend to retire from international and keep playing as long as they can with the top clubs.
They get tired of the circus pretty quick.
Whereas, like, say, Vertonghen and Alderweireld, like, when they retire
Should not
from
have
the
been
Premier
at
League,
this, yeah.
they go back their home country of Belgium,
Yeah.
and the Belgian league is a little bit lower. Whereas, like, if you're playing for, like, say, we're in Ferdinand or that, like, then retired from England, but they were never going to go down to, like, play in the championship or play in Belgium. It was like, I'm going to stay in England. So if I can get one more year in Man United, I'll leave the next qualifying campaign for.
I might get one more big contract somewhere else.
Yeah.
If I keep this up for another 2 years.
And I say, like, likes of Milner, that kind of thing, they retire so they can prolong their club career. Whereas
Vardy, sure, as well.
Vardy as well, yeah, he wasn't getting the fronts, that kind of stuff. So yeah, for the Belgians, I'd say the next Euros, certainly next World Cup, I'd be surprised to see any of those players.
Yeah, I was looking up Lukaku's age. He should still be there. He'll be 32 then, I think.
In 4 years' time,
I think so. I think that's right. Maybe 33.
yeah, but he's my age,
Yeah.
so he's 29. Next year will be 30, 31, 32, 33.
33, yeah. So he'll be up front, but it'll be his last one.
I'd say he'll be some lump then. No chance that he got the next World Cup.
I couldn't believe my eyes during that game.
No, fucking.
I am a full-blown Lukaku hater, and I still felt very bad for him.
Yeah, you really thought, everyone else when they were watching that Stormzy video thought this is the cringiest thing in the world, and then you thought we're going to win the league. You thought this is what it's all about.
It sucked me in, and I've never forgiven him.
You've
for
never
it
forgiven
since.
Lukaku for not being
Messy.
for not being messy. They really that was the first time. I think they had Pogba dance in that video as well. I was like, why is Pogba there? My United fans said this is it. We have the best midfielder in the world, the best striker in the world. We're going to win the whole thing.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw him coming off the pitch and
Smashing that before.
fucking putting a window through in the dugout. A lot of players smashing stuff in this World Cup. It's good to see.
Yeah, no, I don't. He's.
That's going to be a tough one to come back from, I think. Like the penalties in the Euros for England, which I think Sancho still hasn't recovered from. Things like that, I think, take a real toll.
Yeah. Well, one person who definitely won't be at the next tournament, Roberto Martinez.
Yes. Did you see him moonwalk out of the interview?
El Spoofer moonwalks away. Victor Moses gave that man a career. It's like he can create attacking teams, but they just can't defend. It's like, no, he had Victor Moses.
Yeah.
He was unbelievable at Wigan. That was it. That was the whole thing.
Speaking of Lukaku and Roberto Martinez, I always remember when he was announced as the Belgian coach.
Yeah.
Do you remember that video? It was announced during a game. It might have been a United game, and Lukaku was on the bench, and they showed a clip of him being told the news, and he laughs and shakes his head like, I don't believe it. We're great. That's us out of the next 2 World Cups.
More unprofessional from Lukaku. in my
Yeah,
opinion.
exactly.
But yeah, that was the wrong move. That was definitely the wrong move. It was
And they just kept hanging on to him. Like, I think everyone in the world knew, like, get a different manager in. This is never going to work.
God knows, maybe they tried and went, I'm not getting involved in that circus over there. Do any defenders
No thanks.
Do you know better than time at the back? Coming through in like the next 4 years. No, well then I don't know what I'm going to do there. I really don't know what I'm going to do. But yeah, look, that was a 0-0 in a must-win game. Not for lack of trying, obviously.
Yes.
But,
one of the most entertaining 0-0s I've ever seen.
yeah, it was frantic in the end, absolutely frantic. Which means in the end that Morocco topped that group.
Crazy.
I don't know if we'll reckon the predictions. I don't know if you said that in your predictions.
I am sure I said that.
Morocco to top the group.
I think I was like, they have a better team than you'd think. Ziyech plays for them. That's about the extent of it.
Hakimi. A lot of our prediction was just naming the players. So Croatia go through second, Belgium go through last, Canada as well. We're not looking at the winner of the tournament from that group.
No.
Group F me, more like. Thank God that group's done because that sucked. But I tell you what, Morocco are decent, and you know who they played next round?
Who's that?
Spain.
Oh.
I'd be looking forward to playing Spain.
Yes.
I'd be getting at Spain.
They are looking ropey.
Not world beaters. Like I said, I haven't seen anybody, especially after Brazil today. I know that was their second team, but like just a good team wins those games. Yeah. The dead rubbers.
It feels like the teams who like had a really good first day kind of dropped off because they were probably like, oh, we're unbelievable.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. The other team were probably just hadn't met each other until that day.
I'd say the break at the start, or the lack of break at the start, has them thinking, right, we have 6 points now. This is the break we should have at the start.
Yes.
Because they'll do again tomorrow. Yeah. Like by the time this comes out, there'll probably be a game on.
Yes, 100%.
So like, there's no break. So maybe that's probably contributing to us. And again, I'm probably just judging this World Cup based on other memories of other World Cups, which is again stupid to do. But yeah, I'd say Morocco will be looking forward to that Spain game. No fear at all of them. But I don't think they're going to go much further if they do beat Spain, to be honest.
Yeah, if they beat Spain, they'll be playing the winner of Portugal, Switzerland.
Actually,
Portugal are looking good, I think.
you know what? Yeah, Portugal do look decent.
And because I saw that, I think the last 5 goal scorers, the last 4 goal scorers for Portugal were not Ronaldo, which is a big thing because usually
That's a problem brewing.
I don't know. Well, it's you have to deal with that after the World Cup, but during the World
hopefully.
Cup, hopefully there's no interviews coming up.
Yeah.
But that is usually a thing for Portugal at international tournaments where it's like it's Ronaldo, and where hopefully he does it for us.
Yeah.
Whereas now everyone's kind of like playing around him on the pitch.
On to Spain, who we were
Yes.
just talking about. First thing I'll say about this is I'd say Ramos and De Gea must think they're in a simulation now for sure.
Yeah.
Like I knew it. I knew that I wanted to be a footballer and I became a footballer. I thought, yeah, well, lots of people do that. But now I think they're just fucking with me.
Yeah.
What is this? Simeone. No, Simeone. Unai Simone.
Yes, Unai Simone.
I was watching the other game in that group, Japan, Germany.
Yes.
Kenny Cunningham in commentary, always a treat.
Yes.
And he was laughing it up at the results because they were coming through, that Japan were beating Spain. And he mentioned, I think he must have seen it on his phone or on a side screen. I was like, the chocolate wrists, the chocolate wrists of Simeone, let them down again. He thinks that he's in a box and he's talking to the guy beside him, and no one else can hear him.
Very like Brian Kerr.
Very relaxed in the
Yeah.
commentary. But when the camera's on him, he's very aware
Yes.
that people, this is going out to all the people.
He'd have a good podcast if he doesn't have one.
Oh, we should get him on the podcast.
I wonder if we do that.
That'd be great.
I would say that is probably doable.
I'd say if he listened to it, he might like us. You know,
I
think
think we have a better chance if he doesn't listen.
well, if we show him some fake stats, perhaps.
Yeah,
but again, I don't think he cares for that. I think he's just in it for the crack. I think he loves
exactly.
the game.
He'd definitely do a 20-minute Zoom call with us.
Yeah, we'd have to trick him somewhere. I'd say.
Yeah.
Definitely,
Where-
some kind of trickery involved, but. I think he'd have a good time when he's on it, is what I'm
Yeah,
trying
I
to
think,
say.
I think we'd feel
It'd be hard to get him on, but when he got on, he's like, that was good fun. And then he saw, who we actually were. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
What have I done?
You in a dining room.
Yeah, that was, I was watching also on RT, of course. Japan.
Yes.
Another one of your teams.
Yes.
Topped that group. I think you said that, didn't you? I think you said it topped the group. You said something like that, yeah.
No.
You said Doan, he's going to score 2. He's going to off the bench against Germany, he's going to score again against Spain. I think is exactly what you said.
I will say, as at the start of the World Cup, very against the long extra times.
Yeah.
When it's crunch time, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Because you had mentioned as well that like when it's like we have to score and there's 10 minutes to do it, but it's still extra time, so the other team is defending as if there's only a minute left.
Yeah.
Unbelievable entertainment. And it means the other game going on at the same time could be going on forever. So you have to score. The end of the
Yeah.
Germany-Japan game, they were just lashing the ball at the
Yeah.
keeper, trying to score 5 goals in 10 minutes.
Yeah, Costa Rica really hanging on that one.
Yeah.
Is it like exactly what it is? It's 10 minutes of the last minute.
Yeah.
They're just throwing the kitchen sink.
You see someone put up a board and you think, that can't be right.
'Cause you know what? It's a classic co-commentator thing to do. It's like, well, they're throwing the kitchen sink at them now, but where are the last 15 minutes? It's like, because you'll concede.
Yeah, exactly.
This is exactly what's happening. It's like, it's last minute. It's like, that's what you think.
Yeah.
I was counting up all your time wasting for the last 5 minutes. There's actually 5 minutes extra at the end. So they throw the kitchen sink at, and it's guaranteed goals.
Yeah.
Not in the case of Japan-Spain, no. I definitely think there was a point. Now, Luis Enrique denies this. He said, I didn't know what was going on. I thought we were just playing.
Managers always say that. There's no way.
He had finger mode on. I didn't see the incident, actually. That happened right in front of me. Luis Enrique, he was more like, hey, forget all that. The performance was shit. He was doing that, like kind of deflecting from all that stuff. But yeah, I think there's definitely a point where Spain were literally just passing around.
Yeah.
Japan also knew.
Yeah.
Anyway, maybe we both go through. Maybe we just leave it as it is.
Hey, come here, listen.
Because Japan were pressing them a lot, and Spain were giving the ball away. Unai Simone, the guy who's good with his feet, apparently,
Not very good.
messed up his hands and his feet.
Yeah.
He's the goalie. They put a bad midfielder in goal. They put Juan Mata in goal. He would have done a better job, honestly.
Spain should bring De Gea.
Yeah.
They should play Unai for the first 80 minutes and then bring De Gea on for the last 10 minutes to defend.
Yeah. honestly, it's a problem. The Spanish goalkeeper. If I was Morocco now, if I was Hakimi and Ziyech,
Lash it at him.
halfway line kind of stuff. You know, see if he's off his line. He's the kind of keeper to be off his line. Japan, we're you have to give it to them, right? Damien Duff actually had them as that was his Saudi Arabia.
Oh, really?
Apparently,
they paused the league for 9 weeks.
he said before the tournament, I was telling anybody to listen that they were going to do things. They were a really solid team. My son was laughing at me. He said,
"Who's laughing now, son?"
But then he said before the game, I went with Spain. I backed out. You know, I said they wouldn't do it. I don't know why, but that was my team. I was telling everybody. Apparently, he was talking to coach at Celtic. That's the Celtic player.
Yes.
Don't forget his name, to be honest. He wasn't going. That's how good they were. And he was one of the best guys I've worked with. That's what he's basing his like myself. One bit of information. He was like, they must be really good. They were decent. That first goal was a bit of a joke. The second goal, though, that's the real story.
Yes. I mean, what a World Cup to have fucking robot balls that you had to charge that feed information to the refs.
There's so much technology out there.
They're charging the footballs.
But not where it matters.
Why isn't the goal line technology across the whole pitch?
Do you ever watch Galactic Football?
Ooh,
on I don't think Nickelodeon was on one of those.
Sounds very familiar.
Galactic Football. It's like I don't know who made it. It wasn't quite anime. It was something like that.
Right? Yeah, I do.
And it was like football in the future,
yes.
and it was like different planets. Their team.
Yeah.
It was alien football. It was savage, right? But the entire pitch was like a holographic pitch, of course, and the ball was a holograph that you could kick, and then when the time went up, it would just disappear at that. I remember thinking, like, how would we get to that?
Yeah, bollocks.
I was like, yeah, it was always going to be on grass, wasn't it? It's like, now we're like, all right, next World Cup, we need, on the end lines too, across, all around the pitch, we need technology. It's slowly going to get to a totally holographic pitch and rocket boots. Yeah. This is how it starts. Every time it happens, like, well, what if we just put a line here? Okay, we'll put technology there.
It's insane how quick you get used to it too.
Yeah.
Now, like, you know, the VAR offsides, immediately, like, they're amazing. The technology involved in them is absolutely insane.
It's very futuristic.
And people are just like, bollocks, his knee is on. Like,
they just made that there. Yeah. They just made that up.
You think someone animated that?
The same fucking data farm guys
get
hired for the World Cup, chained to fucking desks, like quickly animating offsides. Like they overlooked, doesn't even look like him. Doesn't look anything like him. He just made it up. It could be anybody. I don't know. It's great in a way, but when it matters most, it wasn't there.
Yes.
And have you seen all the videos at this point? Anybody on Twitter, anybody on anything, seen?
You've made a video. Listening to this.
You've had your own go.
It's the camera angle.
You've seen the video, and then I'm going to do that myself just to see. Lots of pieces of paper and footballs, and people to show you the perspective of the goal. It's all English, by the way.
Yeah.
Which is really funny.
Yeah.
Because
Rob Green.
It's all people who want Germany out of the World Cup. It's like, there was no real debate, but they just wanted to drive it home. Yeah. Just in case anyone wants to overturn this, I will show you in my house. I'll get a piece of paper and a football, and I'll show you the perspective. Because sometimes when I think of like us in England, like obviously, you know, the oppression, the 800 years, all that kind of stuff, you know. Not to be flippant about it, but you know that's where it comes from. But then also because we're neighbours as well.
Yes.
And I kind of sometimes think, you know what, like when it comes to sport, like you do kind of cringe sometimes.
Yeah.
But then you see England do it to Germany, you go, oh, okay, well, everybody does this, you know. like they're not. Yeah. They don't even have anything like that.
No, everyone hates everyone.
They bombed them. That one time they got one prolonged bombing. And they're like us to them. Yeah. So it's like, okay, well, that's cringe. What we do is actually justified. They're cringe. I think the French hate the Germans as well. I was actually looking this up just to see, does everybody do this?
Yeah.
I went on this real rabbit hole today. Not much happens today at work. Yeah. But I was like, do the French hate the Germans? And they're like, yes. I was like, what do the Italians think of the French?
Ooh.
You know what they call them?
What?
The cousins. The cousins from across the Alps.
Like
and from going down different core threads, they think of them as their rich, snobby cousins. But they have respect for them. But like,
yeah, look, they're still family.
yeah, exactly. That's literally a line from it. And the French see Italian as rubes. It's like, oh, like your mad cousin from Clare. It's like, no, like he's not a bad lad, but he's fucking tap. Like he's not right in the head, you know. Anyways, so yeah, different coaches and different relationships, and I just thought that was funny. You know, people doing those perspective angles.
Yes.
But
well, we mentioned speaking of Germany.
yeah,
you mentioned earlier you didn't know how the German people were taking it, or German media, like were they upset about it?
yeah.
Well,
Has there been developments in the last 10 minutes?
Well, no, I'll read you some of the headlines from the papers the day after in Germany.
Okay.
Now, I don't speak German, but I think you might be able to translate this one. Die catastrophe.
Oh, that's brilliant. I love that.
The BBC's... so here's just a list of them.
Yeah, please.
I'll just read the quotes. Some of them don't even have, like... They're not attributed to anyone. It's just like... The end of a great football nation. The BBC's Berlin correspondent Jenny Hill says frustration and fury best sum up the mood in Germany this morning, with the sense of humiliation widespread.
Oh, God.
German newspaper Bild has not held back in their criticism of the Germans' performance, labelling the side a soccer dwarf.
Hey, a soccer little person. Have some respect.
They go on to say nobody in the German camp, from the players to the coaching staff, are world class and have marked the 1st of December as the end of a once great and proud football nation.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Again, I don't speak German, but I think this one's easily translatable. Millimeter drama.
What the hell is a millimeter?
The result that fits with the big mess. Just an illusion for Germany. Die Welt said German football has hit rock bottom and must stop lying to itself. The need for fundamental change. And then finally, Kicker said only a 9-2 result would have helped the Germany side, who have failed again.
Yeah.
And we need an inquest into reasons behind the nation's poor performance, labelling the people behind it as stubborn.
Well, that's a good point, to be fair, the 9-2. Like, that's what it came down to, that they needed to get all these goals.
And they gave it a good goal.
They did, but, I mean, the loss to Japan, they were all over in that first half against Japan, that first game. They should have won that. The striker problem has been going on since Miroslav Klose turned 30. They should be like, okay, right, who's next? Timo Werner is the only one that's kind of come close. Obviously, he was injured this World Cup. What has happened to Thomas Muller?
He's retired from international football.
But the last World Cup was the same thing. I mean, like, the first 2 World Cups, he scored 10 goals.
Yeah.
And I don't watch Bayern games that's not in the Champions League. Like, what has he become?
Yeah.
I feel like he's become like Rooney towards the end, whereas like come back there.
Yeah.
But he's still in action. He's not like he's like wandering around the pitch spraying passes. Like he's doing the same thing, but like not scoring. Because I was looking at, remember we were saying about the Harry Kane golden boot?
Yeah.
I was like, that's definitely like we've exaggerated in our heads. It was 3 penalties. That one where it hit off the back of his heel.
Yes, I remember.
And then it was one header. The goalie looked like he didn't know where the goal was. It was like right in the goal line. He headed in. The goalie went to leave it and went past him. And then another header. Right. I was looking at Thomas Muller's one. He moves kind of the same way, but they're just going in. I was like, what? Like, what has happened about me?
He bluffed his way through.
He just was like smashed them in. Like he's still like, you know, they call him Radio Muller because he's so loud on the pitch.
Really?
So he's still the same guy. He's still like, you know, all action, like, but they just don't go in. And you would have thought he was playing up front. You know, it didn't come close to scoring. He wasn't even like Lukaku, where he's missing. It was just
I'd
like
say comfortably their best player was your man Musiala, a really young lad.
Oh, Musiala.
But like, what age is he? Like 19? Because I remember we said he was one to watch in the Euros preview.
Yeah,
I was like, wait, what is he? This kid who did nothing at the Euros, but then he's amazing at this.
Well, it's still Kroos there as well. So I think now Kroos is gone, he's kind of come more to the forefront of it.
But yeah, like it feels like the rest of the stalwarts were fucking not up to it.
They should have beaten Japan. If they had a really good striker, you feel they would have beaten them early on. Obviously, fair credit to Japan for staying in the game and coming back, but they should have beaten Japan. They looked okay at times against Spain, but like obviously not the greatest Spain team ever either. And then Costa Rica, they went behind to Costa Rica. Yeah. It wasn't like they were 4-0 up, and then they went behind. It was a brief moment where Spain and Germany were out. Yeah. was like, what?
Oh, bliss.
I don't know. I mean, that seems to be like the English take. Like they want everybody out, but like I don't really have any bad feeling towards the Germans or the Spanish, to be honest.
It's just good to see that.
It would be mad to see, but like that just tells you how bad the Germans were. Like, the only thing is, like I say, Musiala. I was thinking with this as well. How happy do you think England are that they've avoided the second coming of the Lampard-Gerrard debate with Bellingham and Musiala? Very similar players. And you know what they were saying? Well, we have to play Rice. We have to have a holding player. So we have to be Musiala or... They can't play together.
You have to pick.
You got to pick one. And then it's like, he should be on, he should be on. And he's playing for Germany who are knocked out with the World Cup. It's like, perfect. We'll keep him, you keep him, and we'll all be happy. We'll keep going, you go home. That's the only thing I think of, because he was unbelievable in that game. Just danced around players at the same age as Bellingham, like 19. But yeah, end of Kroos at the Euros. Muller's gone this one. I can't get my head around.
Like all those headlines were saying, they really do need to rip it up and start from scratch.
There's a few there. I just, like
I think there was trouble in the camp as well. I think Gundogan was causing some havoc.
Yeah, there was something.
It didn't seem like it was a smooth sailing, and then we couldn't get together on the pitch. It seemed like it was just a disaster from the start.
Yeah. Well, the Germans are out.
Yep.
Japan go through along with Spain.
Yes.
Japan play
Croatia.
Do you know what? I think I fancy Japan that one. I think the Japanese are riding a high and beautiful wave. I think they're going to go far in this tournament. They're going to be the dark horse. They're going to go like further than you might think, I think.
Well, I'll tell you, if they beat Croatia, they'll be playing the winner of South Korea or Brazil.
Interesting. That might be it then for them. We'll see. Then today, I mean, the trend continued. Top team in the group plays their subs, except for Ronaldo, who has to play every game.
Yes.
But everyone else gets a break. And then they lose to the plucky underdog in the group, Portugal.
And totally changed the face of football.
Portugal and South Korea. South Korea, led by Son.
Yes.
And Hwang, the two Premier League players, of course. Thankfully, two players I know scored today for South Korea.
Thank God.
Son did a classic Son, where he ran like the pitch really fast.
Yes.
Rode the tackle, and then a beautiful ball. There's probably a great shot out there, a great picture of Son surrounded by at least five.
Classic,
because he was running really fast. They were all being sucked in. Then he stopped on a dime. Yeah. They're all waiting. What's Son going to do? Through ball, Hwang, great finish. Yeah. That was 2-1. Portugal here, they're through.
Yeah, it was. I literally tuned into that game right before that South Korea goal.
Yeah.
And I said it earlier, it was the most football movie moment I've ever seen. It was straight up goal.
Yeah.
Goal went in, it was chaos in the stadium. And then the whistle blew and everyone was bawling. It felt like they had won the World Cup. It was I couldn't imagine being fucking from South Korea watching that.
The last time they won a game like that was when they won the Olympics. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And the gift that they would get if they won was that it would be...
you wouldn't have to go to the army.
They would have to do their mandatory military service. And Son became a national hero.
Like, thank fuck.
For those, South Korean guys anyway, they loved him.
Yeah.
This felt like they had been told that deal was off. If you fucking lose this game, if you don't qualify for this group,
you're right back out
You're
there.
doing 2 terms in the army. That's how mad it was. They were so emotional after the game.
This is where I was thinking about, like I said, about the extra time as well, because there was so much time still to play. I think it was in the 98th minute in the Uruguay-Ghana game, and all the Koreans were watching it over their phone, and it was just such good telly. Like, they had the split screen up. It was thrilling. What the World Cup's all about.
And I tell you what, those red jerseys, I wasn't gone in the start. They started growing me.
I was so confused when I turned on the game at first because I didn't know who was who.
Of course. Yeah. I like them. I like those jerseys. So Korea are through behind Portugal.
Yes.
Because Uruguay are playing a futile grudge match.
With a lot. I know you're probably thinking, surely bygones are bygones. There was the amazing Suarez press conference where he was asked, Ghana considered you a devil. Was basically the words.
El Diablo Blanco.
Yeah. Thoughts?
The first time, I don't say the apologize about that because I take the handball, the ball, but the Ghana player miss a penalty, not me. Maybe I can say apologize if I take a tackles and take injury the player and take a red card. Maybe I can say apologize. But in this situation, I take a red card, the ref say penalty. It's not my fault because I don't miss the penalty. You see the player miss a penalty. He say he do it the same in this situation. It's not my responsibility they shoot the penalty.
Honestly, he's fucking dead right.
I agree.
In my
100%.
opinion. I mean, yeah. I mean, if you say you wouldn't do it, then you're not a patriot.
That's why you're not on the pitch, pal.
That's why That's why you've never done it in your life, pal.
Imagine fucking, say, I don't know, Duffy did that for Ireland. You'd be like, fucking hell yeah.
Anybody would have done the same.
Yeah.
You know?
And then he got punished. Like,
yeah.
It's the penalty. You're like, well, you tried, but they're going to score anyway. It's not his fault.
Do you know what? I think it's some. Honestly, Will, you know what I want to say on the pod right now? Yeah. Toxic masculinity is what it is.
Oh, really?
Because if it was a tackle,
yeah,
people say, "Oh yeah, took one. Yeah, I know, fair play, lad."
I get you, yeah.
It's a handball. It's like you're a coward.
Yeah.
If you tried to break someone's leg, like that
last
one,
man back, yeah.
The last man back, professional foul. That's why it's there.
Yeah.
Sent off because I know what you're trying to take one for the team. But that's more acceptable. Handball's like you're a dirty, rotten cheese, and you don't deserve.
You know what you did.
Yeah, like that's what it is. And
I saw people comparing it to Henry's, but Henry's I think is much worse because there was no punishment. He went to the World Cup off the back of it.
Yeah, but well, I think it's the same mentality to do it.
But I hate it because he did it to me. But again, if fucking Robbie Keane did that to someone, he'd be like, "God, you're goddamn right, Robbie. You fucking better slap that ball back in."
I don't know. I think that to ask him now, is he sorry about it? It's like
fucking 12 years later, you're joking me.
I remember watching that game in a Chinese restaurant in Derry in 2010. My brother was playing a football game of his own at the time. This is back when World Cups in the summer.
Yes,
they used to be in the summer, you see. And I was watching it in a Chinese restaurant. It was very warm. They tend to like not fix the heat sometimes in Ireland in the summer. And then when it gets warm, it's like, I don't know what to do. Do we open the windows or we turn off the heat? You know, but they fucking had it all very hot in the Chinese restaurant. I felt like I was in South Africa. It was that warm. And there's people watching the game like on the screen. It's a very empty restaurant. And it was what I imagine people were like when they heard that JFK got shot. When Gian missed that penalty.
You remember where you were.
It was just like gasps of like, oh, I can't believe that. I can't believe that. Like we live in a world this is possible. That like the injustice was just so that it was like, oh, he missed it after what he did, and then it cuts to Suarez like, yeah, wow. You know, everyone's like just gasping in disbelief the whole time, and I guess it's a hard thing to get over. And to be honest, I know for a fact that we'd be the exact same.
Oh, 100%.
100%. Do you feel bad with that?
Yeah.
No.
I am sure if Henry was ever on RT doing punditry for a game, someone's asking him about it.
I'd be annoyed if someone asked about it, though. If someone asked
but
me about
they
anything,
would, though.
Oh yeah. No, like saying for Suarez, like he answered it like in English. He answered it fairly well. He could have said, "Oh, no, great, I'm not doing this," you know. Yeah. But he's like,
"What are you talking about? He's psychos."
Like, yeah, he said. He said the opposite. I said. He said if I tackled someone, I'd feel bad because that's dangerous.
Yeah, if I injured someone, yeah.
You know,
which I've also done many times.
Now the comment was like, "Hey, I didn't miss the penalty." That was probably a bit over. That was probably truer to Suarez's character than he probably wanted people to know, but it just comes out. You know, it's like, "Hey,
can't help it.
If I missed the penalty, maybe I feel bad. Maybe we should ask him." He didn't say. He said that player.
Yeah,
don't know who he was.
He has no clue.
No.
Worst day of that man's life.
I even know you are.
Sleep over it. But that was all coming into the game.
Yeah. Then, that was just the preamble. That was just the preamble of the game, and the game was unreal.
This isn't I don't think it's a hot take. I think this is a common take. But Ghana really fucking took their foot off the gas when they were 2-0 down. When they heard it was time that Uruguay needed to score a goal. They were like, well, let's just pass the ball around. Looks like we don't need to attack anymore.
Yeah, Ghana had kind of given up. They had gone like, this is the grudge match. We're going to fucking do this. Yeah. And I think Uruguay as well. Okay, 2-0 up. Keep it tight, no messing around. We got this. Surely Portugal will not lose South Korea. And then that news came through for everybody.
An amazing shot of Suarez immediately freaking the fuck out.
He knew.
Tears in his eyes, panicking.
Yeah.
Oh, it was amazing telly. Again, like as the other amazing telly was going on. It was so good.
Yeah, no, he knew well that it was done.
Yeah.
His goose was cooked. He thought these boys are not going to let us score another one. Although they had chances.
They also had a penalty they should have had.
2 penalty shouts, one for Darren Nunez, my Golden Boot nominee.
Did he score?
Not once. Not once. I can't remember any clear-cut chances he had. I think the first game against South Korea maybe had a half chance, but I thought he was in form.
This is the thing as well. You do hear all the time, like Premier League, best league in the world. And then you see Darren Nunez ripping it up in the league, goes to World Cup, nothing.
Well, that's because he's playing for Liverpool and he's playing for Uruguay.
That's true. He's also on the wing for Uruguay sometimes.
Yeah, it's just the form I thought would carry through, but you got Suarez there, who's just a mountain of man in Uruguay, seemingly. Yeah. I mean, to do that press conference and then go out on the pitch and have a great game.
The fact he was doing a press conference.
Yeah, I mean, the ball's not man, you know.
Yeah.
You're not just facing him until he retires.
Yeah, Cavani could have taken the Ghana press conference. He said, no,
yeah.
I'll field these questions.
If that was us, do you think, would we be happy with that? Like, say that was the flip, that was France.
What, we're playing England or
no,
France?
France, who beat us 2-0, and then we lost, and then, you didn't score another one though, did you?
We would be buzzing.
Yeah.
We would.
That makes me sad, to be honest.
That's the way it is, though.
Yeah. Because a lot of those kind of people in the crowd were devastated.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, wow, we thought we were going to teach them a lesson here. We thought Kudos was going to be the guy. Sorry, the penalty.
Yeah.
That was a bullshit penalty.
Yes.
He said, all right, I give him my quote of bullshit penalties, where he did the thing, the straight legs, dived over the body, looked at it, went, yeah, fucking give it.
Go on then.
You with the stutter step. Yeah. The goalie was not bothered. It's like, oh no. Just low and hard. Here was some conviction, son.
Don't think about it. Just smash it at the goal.
It was a very entertaining day
Yes.
of football today. The other game then was Switzerland-Serbia. Great game. 2 teams going at it.
We had called that as a must-miss game. Worst game of the round, no doubt about it.
Yeah, you can't even say, oh, that was a prediction show. That was last episode.
That was 4 days ago, I think.
Yeah, that wasn't great prediction by us. But who would have thought that they would just go at it and fucking...
I had totally forgotten that they hate each other.
Serbia and Switzerland?
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah.
Because of the war?
Yes.
Which war?
I couldn't.
Is there a war that they're involved in?
I think so.
Switzerland is usually neutral.
But did the thing? Remember this whole thing?
The eagle.
Because aren't they linked to Albania and stuff as well?
Albania, man, there's something going on there. I've never taken the time to figure out what it was. Yeah. Remember Arnautovic was something about Albanians as well?
Yes.
He called somebody Albanian. Do you want to be called an Albanian?
There was actually a quote from the Serbia manager caught on camera at the end of the game. I'll find it here.
Yeah.
And it was but I think he said something along the lines of I'm going to fuck your Swiss mothers or something like that.
They
maybe Albanian mothers, something like that.
Some Albanian Swiss thing. Because was that what happened at the end? It was a very spicy game. There's a lot of words being exchanged.
Xhaka shaked his dick at the Serbian bench, and they all got up. Right?
Is that what they got? Oh, right.
Yeah.
Because I saw them get up. All the subs kind of came out of nowhere. I was like, what's going on here? What's been said? That was also what Xhaka was.
Xhaka shook his dick at them.
That pissed me off.
Yeah, that annoyed you.
Hey, I don't like that at all. I like the opposite of that. It was heat at the end. It was all gung ho in the first half, and in the second half, Switzerland got the I was like, oh, here we go again. Yeah. That was it then.
Yeah,
Serbia took off Vlahovic. They had, like I was saying at the start, can they play Vlahovic and Mitrovic in the same team? Yes, they can. It works out well, but the defense suffers.
Yes.
So okay, right, take off Vlahovic, leave on Mitrovic, see what we can do. It didn't do anything really then. Switzerland were quite good. Shaq had a great game. Dick shaking aside. Yeah. Mbola was quite good also. Unfortunate for the Serbs, that's the end of their tournament. It's tough to watch Serbia, who were so much better than us, go out.
My dark horses are based entirely on the World Cup qualification. It turns out I think we were just really bad.
Yeah, it did show that we're kind of
had a disaster.
A bit off the pace. I mean, I know Portugal did pretty well. They finished second in that group, so maybe it's just like I say at the start, where it's like the break isn't there. It's a bit of a weird one. Everything's been very leveled, and it comes down to I think that's why a lot of the top players are doing well, because the normal kind of tactics and systems aren't being employed to the same effect they usually would. And it's like, hey, I'm just better than you. Watch Mbappe run. You know, I think that's what's coming down to, because there's like, even Mitrovic scoring that header, a classic Mitrovic header is like, you got to see that coming. They turned the ball over once. I think it was Tadic had 2 touches straight in. Mitrovic glancing header. There's a great bit of him. I think there was a foul, or like, you know, check the VAR, and he was walking past the Switzerland players after celebrating. And I was like, fuck off, mate.
Yeah.
He said, fuck off, mate. I'm spending too much on Fulham.
Fuck off.
Fuck off, mate.
Why is he speaking Serbian?
Well, because the Swiss probably speak English, so they'll understand that. And I want them to know.
Definitely probably to another Premier League player as well.
So, yeah, no, it was a great game, very entertaining. And a bit of racism in there as well, which is...
cherry on top.
That's real football. That's real World Cup stuff. Yeah. I guess what's left now, Will, is to play the music.
Well, I think if they win, I should get all the credit. And if they lose, I should not be blamed at all, okay?
Now watch this drive.
All right.
I beat Russians and Iranians a heck of a lot tougher than Nikolai Volkov and the Iron freaking Sheik.
Pulisic! Buries it in the upper 90!
Yeah, we didn't forget about them. Group A, the US, our team, I guess, Will. Tell you what it is with the USA? It's win-win. They come over here, they play soccer, they win, it's like, ha! We beat you at your own game. They lose, go, whatever, don't care.
All right, play us in basketball.
We're going back to the All-Star game in a month. We don't care about this. So it's win-win. They can't lose this. They played the Netherlands. I'm assuming you saw the clip of Chuck, Charles Barkley.
No, I didn't.
He said he's going to open a can of whoop ass in the Netherlands during an NBA program. They're just like they in between different sports with ease. And he gave it a guarantee. He guaranteed that they would open a can of whoop ass on the Netherlands.
That's so
He's never watched the game.
No.
But again, if they don't, who cares? I don't care about football or soccer, whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, look, they beat Iran. There was a great bit at the start of that game where they all took a picture, the 2 captains and the refs, desperately trying to avoid an international incident.
The fear in their eyes.
But it's all good here on the pitch. And then Big Chris Pulisic, he scored the goal.
He did.
I think he got concussed afterwards.
It looked like he broke his dick.
I thought it was more serious than that.
It was his groin. Well, it looked like it was groin. It turns out, I think he said in a tweet, it was his pelvis. But that he's hoping to be back on the field soon with praying emojis. So.
Well, he put enough of them. Maybe throw in a few bicep emojis as well.
Yeah.
Recover faster.
Yeah.
Without him, they'll be fucked against the Netherlands.
I think they're, even with him, they're going to struggle.
Yeah, they'll definitely struggle. But I feel they've done well, like, for all their winning 0-0 and unbeaten against England. They do have an ability to nullify. And I think the Dutch have been okay, but they don't have an Mbappe. They don't have or Charlison, if you will, up front. I think Gakpo's been good, but I don't think it's beyond USA to get a 0-0 and win on penalties. Honestly,
you think?
I don't think it's beyond them. I'd say, honestly, if I was to guess, I'd say probably 2-0 Netherlands.
Yeah.
I'd love to see them get hammered.
Me too.
But again, it doesn't matter because they go, whatever, who cares? You know, football, basketball,
yeah,
absolute
like all
sport.
the shock jock guys, like they'll have a rant and then it's like next day it's back to business. Like this is whatever.
But they are going on like, we beat Germany because they are out.
yeah.
We beat, like we were saying about the Canada before the tournaments. It's that kind of stuff. And then once it's over, it's like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Shit, I don't care. So look, the Americans have as their best ever. I think we just like be the losers. I think we like to be the down the dirt. I don't like winning at all.
They have too much confidence.
They're just so
we're not
brash.
Used to that. Yeah, we're not used to that here. Not very braggadocious in Ireland.
No, so I don't like this USA team one bit. And I hope they get hammered. Yeah. But I know that won't fix anything. Yeah. They'll just go back to where they were. And I did see one of those like TikTok guys, those shock jock guys, and he was like, you want this. You don't want fucking us to be concentrating on this. We'd kick your ass,
Yeah,
and I was like, that's probably a good point,
Did you see the one where he goes through his starting 11? It might be a different dude.
Oh, it's definitely different dude, I'd say.
But it's a guy going through the starting 11 if soccer was like the main sport in America. It's like, in goal, LeBron James. He's 6'8" and he's the best athlete alive. And that's my captain. And it's like, fucking up front, I got Ja Morant. You're not out jumping that man.
yeah.
I'll think of like all the linebackers and fucking White. They'd be freaks if they were all. Even I think Odell Beckham Jr. is like an amazing football player, like soccer player. He's just like, nah, not interested.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's a lot of good athletes in America.
Just the talent pool is fucking gigantic. Like
in an alternate universe, it's America and China who are dominating the sport, and we're like, why do we ever let them in? There's just so much more of them.
I remember before the Euros, we were like, how can Russia not get it together and win every tournament with all those people?
It's but it's the same. America is the same size roughly as the EU. I mean, give or take a few million, I suppose. But like, the point being, imagine if there was a European team.
Yeah, it'd be very good.
Like that's because that's the main sport mainly across Europe.
Yeah. And everything's run really well with a lot of money. Yeah,
that's what America would be if they ever do get together. Like say, the concussions. Just get to a point where no one can take it anymore, and the NFL just falls off a cliff. That'll never happen. But just say, a lot of athletes there, a lot of $1 million scholarships going to soccer players. That's not what you want.
No,
So look, the USA have been entertaining. That's what I will say about the USA. They're not that boring.
Yeah.
They like to be high pressing, high energy. Dest, McKinney, that's good on that wing is good, and then Push on the other.
You do countries do tend to inspire future teams as well for World Cups and stuff. So if they do go far, I could see in 3 World Cup times there being now there's 4 really good young American players.
Yeah,
they're probably watching this World Cup now as kids, being like, "Fuck, I want to do that."
Yeah.
So I'd be wary of them. Hopefully they get knocked out.
The only other game in that group, obviously Spain. Oh, obviously England beat Wales. Wales are out.
Hammered them.
Wales not getting this World Cup. Never really felt any kind of affinity to Wales. I think maybe it's because I see us in them.
Yeah, if you can do it, why can't we?
It's like they're smaller than us.
Yeah,
they're more bilingual than us. And they've qualified for more World Cups recently than we have.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like,
they got lucky. They got Gareth Bale.
Yeah. Well, look, they're gone now. That's probably the end of that another gold generation bites the dust.
I think that a pretty good run for that gold generation, though.
Yeah, no, listen, they did well. I think Bale is not lazy. I think he just passed us now at this point. So, unfortunate for them. But like you're saying, it might inspire the next generation of Welsh soccer players.
Yeah.
Now, Will, just before we get them in, I think we need to actually ask the people in the fantasy league. What jersey do you want, lads? Because it's getting to crunch time now. They're going to the jersey's going to get sold out. We're going to be in a Euro 2020 situation where you're not going to get the jersey fucking a year afterwards. So I'm just going to call out some people here. Okay.
Now, do you want to explain why you're calling out the names and not just checking them on the app?
But the app sucks.
The app is brutal.
I can't see the app. Who owns the teams in the app? I can just see the funny names.
The funny names are great when you can also see who it is.
Well,
infuriating when you can't see who it is.
For this exact situation, we're trying to find the names because, as you all know, the winner of the tournament gets a jersey of their choice, and then anybody who finishes above Noanstron 1, who we're going to bring in very shortly, they will also go into a draw. But we need to know who you are. Okay? We don't know if these people are listening to the show.
Yes,
we don't have to know them in real life. We don't know what they are. But currently, as it stands, there are people ahead of me. What the fuck? The people who are ahead of the House Robots, one of the House Robots teams, forget about that. Don't worry about that. JB Styles 07.
That is my brother.
Do you know his jersey?
No, I'll ask him.
You got to ask him. He's going to win it.
He's again.
He's on 178 points. Yeah. The next closest to him, 144. Again, we know some people. We know some of these people. We don't know. I'm just going to call the names just because it's getting to crunch time. Okay.
Hit us up.
Don't worry about it. You need to get your jersey. Moyes Deep, Freedom Soccer, and Dream Mobile 1. You're all in the draw, and we don't have any of your jerseys, I don't think. So if you listen to the show, just send us a quick message on Instagram, whatever. Because I think what we're going to do, like if there's 5 jerseys, we might buy them all and then return the one that doesn't win the draw, because we just don't want them to sell out and have you not have them like, oh, where's that fucking jersey? So look, it's up to you at this point. Ball's in your court. Yeah. And this is where it stands now. There's a few more games to go, but I would say also Serbian you up on a plate. Great name. Yeah. But I need your jersey. Yep. Satara 2 and maybe Teka 2050. Need your jerseys. Get them in because you're still within a chance of finishing above the robots. So, yeah, please let us know. And without further ado, bring them in.
Come on in.
There he is. The boy himself.
That's bigger every week by the look of him.
There we go. Great week. A great week from the Nonotron one. You know, we're back in the top. I think we were the second top scorer this week.
That's good.
Thanks to Nonotron.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Nonotron, how do you do it? You know, what's your method? I mean, I don't want to give you a secret away, obviously, but I mean, you know, how do you do it?
I just said to myself, if I were calm, who would I pick?
Oh, stop, man!
That's a bit.
You're the star of the show here. I mean, you're the guy who made the picks, not me. I mean, don't be. You're the guy right now. It's your moment.
It's with a call on the podcast name.
You are too kind. If I were programmed to blush, I would.
Oh, come on! Hey, stop it now! Come on, we're
programmed to blush.
Well,
you have 2 teams in there. One of them says Will on it. Well, how's my team doing?
Well, it's not your team. It's where it's. I mean, I'd assume, Nonotron, if I may, you left the other team untouched, likes of Mitrovic, and he scored. You know, and you just you didn't need to make transfers. You're testing out the players that was on that team.
I feel like there's favoritism going on.
I don't know.
Correct as always, Colin.
Yeah, see, well, there's no. It's not about me or you.
Always.
There's not. Yeah, well, again, but it's not about me or you. It's one team. It's all about the nonsense. We're limiting our costs here.
Feels like he's really favouring towards one side here.
No, well, come on, that's not true at all.
We both went halves on him.
Now he's not being a team player. Will.
Oh, okay, relax.
Why did he say no? He's being a team player.
Relax. Okay, look, let's not worry about that. No, it's wrong. Come on, let's not start this. What's going on with you? What's going on?
Fucking the cheek of this.
Sorry, look, come on, look. What you are doing quite well this week, and you know what? I misjudged you, Nonotron. I did, because I thought more time, more data. Anybody could say that, but you really turn around. So, I mean, who's been your player of the tournament so far?
Statistically, Bruno Hernandez has been the best player at the tournament so far.
Yeah, I think.
Now you're talking.
I mean, statistically, that's probably true. Yeah, I think I probably agree with that. I mean, there's no one really else I would.
Personally, I'm a big fan of Cody Gakpo, or as I like to call him, Cody Gakpo.
Okay.
That guy is a tall glass of water.
Oh, you want to get out of here, okay? Sorry, I thought I fixed that bit in this thing. That's why he wasn't on last week. I was get out. Look, just go back and analyze the thing.
So well, he's back.
Okay. I was on the phone to Nakamura for 3 hours last week. He just told me step by step trying to get that code, but obviously it didn't fucking stick because he's okay. Look, I'll try and fix it. I'm sorry.
I'm not so sure about the robot anymore.
I think he's doing well. I think one of the teams is doing well. And again, it has my name on it, but what's that mean? It's just that's just random.
I feel like the price of the jersey is being undercut by how much damage he's doing to my house.
Those floors to buff right out, right? Don't worry about that.
No, honestly, that is nonsense. Nonsense. All nonsense. But listen, I've been on that road before.
Robot balls.
They're imposters.
Nothing to ask me, for my opinion, a little bit unfair.
But in between that, there was drinks.
Why are you talking rubbish?